Well, we're just weeks away now from Donald Trump's inauguration, and the president-elect is already laying out plans for what he wants to do once he assumes office. Yesterday, Trump making several posts about foreign policy proposal, including a lengthy post where he implied he would be interested in gaining control of Greenland, the Panama Canal, and Canada. Trump also criticized President Biden's decision to commute the sentences of nearly all inmates on the federal government's death row. He says he will direct the Justice Department to vigorously pursue the death penalty once he's in office. CBS News political reporter Torian Small joins us now to discuss all of this. First things first, let's start with Trump talking about potentially gaining control of Greenland, the Panama Canal, and Canada. I mean, is he serious about this, and how would this actually happen?
Chanel, it's kind of hard to gauge whether or not the president is serious about acquiring those sovereign places, especially considering he's using Truth Social, where he's also in between these statements posting memes and AI-generated images. But I will say toward the Panama Canal, this is an act that would take some extraordinary measures, including new bilateral treaties that would rescind what was signed into law under President Carter in the 1970s. As it relates to Canada, it's more poking the bear there because Donald Trump has been pretty public about his disagreements with Trudeau. And then as it relates to Greenland, this is obviously a situation where the U.S. has flirted before with purchasing of that island. The island's prime minister said that Greenland is not for sale. But I do also want to make note that the U.S. does have a military base operating out of it. So strategically, it makes sense. But as of now, it's hard to gauge whether or not the president is in true serious about his intent to purchase or acquire those land. I do want to say, though, this is the man that coveted the art of the deal. This more aggressive style of saying that the U.S. should expand its territory appears to be telegraphing a need for the president to address the U.S. trade policy on the global scale. So it's likely that he'll use this as a negotiating tactic when it comes to more bilateral trade agreements with these places versus an actual intent for the U.S. to acquire through, like I said, treaties or through more forceful measures, takeovers of these sovereign places.
Okay, interesting. Good context there, Torian. Trump also said that he plans to name Kevin Cabrera as the ambassador to Panama. Tell us a bit more about Cabrera and the message this appointment might send.
Well, the through line here is loyalty is rewarded under a Trump administration. This is a man, Cabrera, who won his commissioner seat in Miami-Dade because he was a staunch Trump supporter. He received this endorsement and won cleanly his race there. He also was a executive director of the Florida chapter of the America First policy. This is a think tank that is closely aligned with Donald Trump. And he was also a state director for his 2020 re-election bid. So a lot of characters that we're seeing being poached and appointed to these positions in the Trump administration don't have a lot of things in common. The through line, though, appears to be loyalty to the incoming president.
Okay, Torian Small, thank you.